Hey, what's going on? Justice Severin here, back again from Original Chapters. Today we are discussing shiny lead syndrome and how you can make sure you're avoiding this inside of your business here. It's really the same mentality and strategy you've been using to at least generate 50% of the sales made, once again, from areas that people are just overlooking and letting leads fall through the cracks repetitively. All right, so this is a live stream we did right inside of our Facebook group, Original Chapters Marketing. But make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, so you're locked into everything we got coming for you. But for right now, let's get right into it. So in reality, one of the big pieces I really want to break down for you is I kind of see this where there's two. I want to give you like some true solutions right out the gates and then really break it down and take a step back a little for you. So number one, there's two pieces to that. Really just pipelines and follow-up, right? Pipelines and follow-up. And what I mean by pipelines, your sales pipeline, and really actually not the theoretical, not like this whole like, yeah, you got it in your mind. It's like, in my eyes, you should truly have some kind of a pipeline, right? If you have a lot of people, especially if you're bigger, maybe you have an actual CRM that you're paying for monthly. In reality, you don't even need something like that, right? I think once again, I actually do have a CRM that I use. We're using Close right now in our business. I've used Pipedrive. There's a bunch of other good ones, right? But in reality, that's not even what matters. What matters is, at the very least, you're tracking all the leads coming through your business, right? And I don't really mean, when I say all, maybe I should take a step back there. In reality, it's not all of the leads. Your warm leads, right? Your warm leads are the ones that you need to keep your finger on the pulse on. I want to make sure that I kind of really hammer home to make sure you know exactly how to go about that, and in reality, how much it can hurt you on that side. Because really, that's why I put this as number one, where I said number one is pipelines and follow-up. Because really, with just the pipeline, tracking that, managing that, knowing how to go about it, that's great. But in reality, without the latter, without the follow-up, it's completely useless. All right. And I'm going to break this down to you why in a sec here too. And let me know too as well, who right now is actually has some system, whether who out there is using a CRM, using some type of pipeline, or who out there kind of, maybe let me know if also you feel like you're struggling to kind of keep track of your leads, or maybe you feel like you're not getting a lot of leads right now. Let me know down in the comments kind of where everybody sits right now, so we can really kind of get a vibe for the room and see where everybody's at. Because really, this is two major pieces that I think you can't start this too soon. And I want to go ahead and show you exactly why. And a big reason too is, in reality, I think that the problem with this, which is why I call this SLS, right? Shiny lead syndrome here, is because so often in our businesses, I see this with a lot of students of mine and obviously others I'm talking to, where really we're just not leveraging the gems in your own backyard, right? It's kind of like that, the popular phrase there, the grass is always greener on the other side. And the reason I say that is because this whole it's just so congruent there. The whole shiny object syndrome, shiny lead syndrome. So much of the time we're looking for that new lead to bring into our business who's going to be that quick sale out of nowhere type of thing. We're looking for that ideal avatar. And in reality, we're skipping over the avatars that are sitting in our backyard here, who it really is, you're leaving money on the table by not looking at them, right? It's like, go ahead and take care of that. And really, I'm speaking from experience here, because a lot of the times it's not a lead problem that you have, right? A lot of the time, and maybe right now you do have a lead problem where you're actually not generating, qualified leads into your business on a daily basis, because it has to be daily. Otherwise, you are going to be running into issues there. But let's just say that you got that part taken care of. You have to have a way to now truly have a process around that, because otherwise you're going to be so focused on finding that new lead, find that next, like I said, it's almost like finding the next new shiny object. But in reality, you're looking for that new shiny lead, that new lead who's going to make you that next $1,000 day. Maybe you've had that first $1,000, maybe you've had your first 10K month, whatever it is, like that, it still never goes away. And if you want to be able to get to the point where, we're just coming off a 50K plus month, it's like, if you want to get to the point where you can do that type of stuff, the sales process absolutely has to be dialed in. And so I want to, like I said, go ahead and give you guys some clarity on that side. Let me pull quick just to see kind of where everybody is on this side here. So I'm seeing brand new to all this, trying to get it set up and going, everything going there. Gotcha. I see. I appreciate the specifics there, Katrin, too. I love this too. Once again, thank you for being vulnerable, Katrin, Adam. Letting us know where you're at with your business right now. I know everybody else here has got something going on, so feel free to add on too. Adam saying, still trying to get my finger on finding organic leads. I love the fact that you're looking to really go with the organic side first there. Adam. It's Critical, if you ask me. You guys have probably seen my story too. Like my first full year in this business, I did not spend a dime on any kind of paid advertising and was able to close 236K, honestly. So you do not need paid ads to get rolling. I believe they're powerful, but so much leverage there. So really just to even like establish that baseline here where you need to have a pipeline. You need to, and then really once you have a pipeline that you're able to manage now, you need to be able to go ahead and really have some kind of a follow-up process on that. And for us, we really consider that part of our daily messenger operations. We're big on Facebook. We're really big on using this platform here to go ahead and use in our business, but it doesn't matter which platform you're using in reality. You just need to know how you're gonna be able to follow up with them, how you're gonna be able to get into a one-on-one conversation with them, because honestly, that's why I believe that I'm on a one-to-many right now, talking in a Facebook Live right now, right? But in reality, I don't wanna have this as my only method that I'm really going ahead and actually going about my sales process. This is obviously a key factor, but whether you're doing TikTok, YouTube, I have channels on both. It's like, but in reality, that's where I see so many people kind of struggling because they're going ahead and just leveraging that and relying on so much automation, just the funnels, just letting their email marketing do the trick. When in reality, it's great that you're now getting them into your system, but now you have to really understand, think about it like this. When somebody is raising their hands, we teach honeypot posts, two-step posts, lead generation posts. And the whole goal is if you're getting people in your audience to raise their hands, you honestly need to make sure that you're checking them off. You're simply tagging them, right? You're tagging them in a way that you can now remember, because these are folks who are now, like I said in the whole analogy, these are gems sitting in your backyard there. So you don't want to go ahead and overlook them, right? It's like if you want to have a nice yard and keep it on point, you got to go back there and mow it once a week, maybe twice a week if you're nutty about it, right? So in the reality, you need to keep these leaves the same way. Because like I said, you are leaving gems sitting in your backyard and you have to go ahead and know how to go about that there. So really that's why the whole reason I want to make sure you understand off the bat here is pipelines and follow-up, right? So once again, comment pipelines if you guys are following me right there too. If you really, because I want to make sure that you understand the basis of what you really have to have. And like I said, the pipeline, we can go into any more specifics around those two. I'm going to dive in a bit deeper here in a second. But once again, don't overcomplicate the pipelines. I even teach a lot of my students too. It's like there's no need to feel like you have to pay for one of these CRMs. Use a Google sheet, right? Use a Google Doc. Use a Trello board. You don't have to feel crazy. What's important is that you're tracking them. Because when you start tracking these, once again, and hopefully you're starting to pick up on when I say these and them, it's kind of like I hate the word traffic sometimes, because at the end of the day, traffic is people, right? So it's like you have these people, you have these leads that are actually warmer leads that have actually shown some kind of interest. So make sure that you are keeping them, you're keeping your pulse, right? Keep your hand on the pulse to some degree, because that is going to be so crucial to you having some of your biggest weeks ever inside of your business, biggest months ever. Like I just said, we came off a 50K month just in May, 50K plus, honestly. We're still wrapping the numbers to see where it finished up. I'm telling you right now, follow-up plays a major role inside of that. If you're only going out and chasing the shiny leads, right? That shiny new one that you're just waiting to get a new lead in the system because all the leads you have are absolute trash. You feel. That's why having a system, once again, a sales process, having a content and branding to really nurture those leads long term. This is where the money is made. I'm telling you right now, if as far as my business goes, it's like 50-50. There's only, and maybe I'm just throwing out random, like don't quote me on that statistic, but in reality, it's a rare situation when somebody completely brand new steps into our world here and they actually become a buyer like basically tomorrow or even that week, right? So what's with that, if you are waking up and knowing that that is just the reality of the situation, understand that managing your pipeline and having a follow-up strategy behind it is critical in your business there. Critical. Comment critical if you understand how critical that is inside your business there, because it just has to be dialed in order for you to go ahead and get that rolling there too. So I want to make sure that you guys are really, that's hitting home there too. Let me know, hit the like and love button if this is making sense right now. I want to make sure this is hitting right now here, because so critical on this side. So now as well, I want to just talk a bit about kind of how we tag and sort leads, because like I kind of mentioned there too, you have to develop a process for this stuff sooner than later. I'm telling you right now from experience, it will lose you money, so much money in the future. And I'm telling you right now, like for me, it lost me money down the line. Like really when I was starting off, it lost me, I'm afraid to even throw a number out there. I feel like it must be 6 figures plus at this point. by not having this dialed in. It absolutely is 6 figures plus at this point here, right? It's like in our business now, we're right around the 400K mark in total revenue. I am positive that my first few months, I've talked about honestly here, guys, for those of you who follow me, how even like things like my content was absolutely mediocre. Even when I hit my first 15K month starting out, it was mediocre as ever. I had a strong part of my sales process really dialed in. But once again, if you want to start getting that consistency, the next month, it was a 7K month. It wasn't terrible, but it's like if I would have really had these pieces dialed in, I would have been able to cruise that much further, that much faster there in reality. And I'll tell you right now, that month, 2 months after the 15K month was a 30K month. And I'm telling you, it's because really getting our offers dialed in, getting some of these systems really on point helped so much. That was really, and that right after that 50K month is when we started really implementing the whole pipeline. The follow-up strategy wasn't completely dialed in, which is why I want to help you out with some tags here and pieces like that to help you go in. Like I mentioned, we truly lost. And even after that point, it's like, once again, I was a one-man band for a while here. You know, it's just, I think I brought in a team for the first time, a true team, you know, maybe back, going about 9-10 months ago. Before it was just me and my VA though before that. And really, she's been with me now. It's crazy when I think back how long it's been. Almost 2 years now she's been with me. So once again, but I say this though, because in reality, having the right processes dialed in, I talk all the time, hopefully if you've stuck around, income producing activities, IPAs, right? Comment IPAs if you feel me on that one too. IPAs are critical, and follow-up is an absolute necessary. Because for those of you who have followed any kind of thing that I talk about as far as like what are the main areas to focus on, you've heard me talk about sales conversations. And how are you going to get into the most sales conversations? Yes, by going out there and finding new leads is a way, but once again, leverage the gems in your backyard right there, right? You probably can't see, it's like you see the ocean behind me, right? Right now, there's a lot of jewels in that ocean right there. It just takes some digging, but in reality, they're right there. Why go searching all out throughout the world? Yeah, it's kind of like not the best analogy. Maybe it's like what's that? Maybe you guys can tell me. What's the little place, the part of the ocean where you can like skimboard or whatever? Just in that area alone, where the sand meets the water, there's so many jewels right in between there. Why go search the whole ocean when you got that right there? The whole ocean is, you know, it's like that optimism. You just feel like, oh, there's so much potential out there. When in reality, those couple of feet right before the ocean really gets large and vast there is so much. So hopefully you're following me with this metaphor here. I'm not trying to go too crazy with you, but in reality, it truly is so similar right there. So I hope they hit home, and I want to kind of give you guys some clarity on really what we do inside our business there. So let me know if you guys are following along, if you're getting some value from this already. Comment value for me in the comments there too. Let me go ahead and check. I haven't even checked in the comments here, honestly. Let me take a quick look. Hit that like and love button as well there. I want to see, make sure you guys are, the rest of the community is seeing this. Love and see you in there. There we go. I see Adam saying pipelines, Jacqueline saying critical, Mark saying so true. Oh, Mark, great to see you on here, my man. Great to see you back at it. So really, like I said, absolutely critical. I'm glad that you're feeling and following me on that side there. Because like I said, I say this because I speak from experience, and I guarantee you that there are people in reality right now as you're listening where you know that this is true because you've seen it happen maybe time and time again. I'll tell you right now, it still happens to us, you know, in reality. But that's why you have to have these systems, because you're never gonna close every single person, but you at least want to do what you can to bump that percentage up, right? If you guys follow me, I say you're never gonna have 100% closing rate, but you have to do the little things to bump yourself up. And I'd rather focus on what's going to move the needle the fastest, right? So with that being said, let's go ahead and just get straight to it with pipelines, follow-up, and then, like I said, I want to get right into some Q&A because I want to make sure I get you guys any kind of questions you have here too. So let's talk briefly here about the pipelines first. So for me, like I said, the most important parts of your pipeline, really, you need to make sure, this is where sometimes, honestly, having some kind of automation for this, in my eyes, is the best way to go, right? Because I use Zapier for a lot of this, to be honest. There's plenty of other ways to go about it. Zapier, for those of you who don't know, zapier.com. I'm not giving away any affiliates or nothing. I don't even know if they have an affiliate program. I've given enough business to them, but in reality, I use that for a lot of pretty much automation, because in reality, you want to make this as simple as possible, right? And once again, getting that time back in your business so that you don't, once again, I'm out and about on, call it vacation, call it work vacation, call it whatever you want. But my business is operating even while I'm doing this live stream right now, because I have so much automation. And like I said, obviously I have a team now too, but automation is helping to carry your business. And that's where I always tell even our students too. leverage the heck out of automation before I even brought on a VA. It's like I wanted to make sure that my automation was dialed in and I took care of whatever. I didn't want to pay somebody for something that could be done on its own. A lot of the times we just want to kind of get somebody on, bring somebody in just so we make us kind of feel better. It's kind of like, actually, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but it's kind of like how some people incorporate their business because they want to kind of feel like they made it. Or, even just how you make an investment and you feel like, all right, I made the investment. Here I am. I made it. It's like, no. That the making the investment isn't the hard work. The making the LLC or incorporating your company isn't the hard work. It's putting in the work that's the hard work. It's the persistence, it's the consistency, right? So once again, I want to go ahead and dial in on this side really with understanding that I kind of went a little tangent there about automation because in reality, I just think it's so important. But let's keep it moving here on point with the pipeline piece. So the reason I brought that up, you want to make sure that, like I said, anybody who's showing some signs that they are a warm lead, they're interested, anything like that. And I don't mean like interested, like, hey, they responded to you in a message. Hey, they liked your post. If you want to get that granular, you can. But it's kind of like if you ask me, you're going to get your pipeline to the point where it's just so flooded with nonsense that it's tough for you to even now recognize who the warmer ones are between the people who are just kind of dead weight inside of your pipeline, right? So, and once again, just to reiterate one more time, for those who are coming in later, maybe when I say pipelines, I really mean, if you want to get fancy, I mean any kind of CRM. Like I said, we use Close on our sides. I used to use Pipedrive. There's Go High Level. There's a bunch of other ones, right? But I'm not going to go all deep in that. Entreport, there's probably a ton of others, right? Or you can just use simply a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, a Trello board, anything like that. But literally what I want you to picture with this is you should have really all these pipelines are broken down into stages, right? So you can have some kind of stages or things like that, stages, statuses, however you want to label it. In reality, what you need to have inside of your business and inside of these pipelines is number one, like just kind of some kind of entry point, right? Something where maybe when a warm lead kind of enters your world, you now have that person inside of maybe this first stage here. And then as you can imagine, maybe you can easily have like 4 simple stages, honestly, right? Maybe it's a warm lead right here is the first one. Maybe the second one is a hot lead on that side. Maybe the third one is someone maybe who you booked a call with. Maybe your fourth one is maybe some kind of investment discussed, nurture, and then it could be as simple as that. But just listen to what I said on those 4 pieces there, because I'm telling you right now, majority of people aren't even doing this kind of stuff, right? And that is exactly why the follow-up process is so dang difficult, all right? Like I said, so really, let me know if you comment 4 right there. Type the letter 4. Comment the number 4, do whichever one you choose. Comment 4 there if you're feeling me on those simple 4 stages, even to get you started, right? Maybe just warm, hot, booked call, nurture, right? If you even have those 4 stages, it is going to be so much easier to track because now you can truly understand who are the people who are hanging out in your backyard, or once again, who are the people hanging in, as I showed with the ocean there a second ago, who are the people hanging out right where the water meets the sand? And so you don't have to be so focused about the whole ocean. Because if you're worried about the whole ocean, you are going to get lost in the sauce. I promise you that much there, right? So once again, just understand the pipeline side of that there. I want you maybe I'll call this homework, call whatever it is. For those of you who don't have any kind of system like this, and I'm saying system, sometimes the word system, I want to make sure like I'm dumbing this down because system sounds fancy, when in reality, like I said, this could be as simple as a Google Sheet, right? Because I'm telling you right now, there are not going to be as many people as you think on that list, especially on those last 3 columns right there, right? The hot, maybe the book called / investment discussed, and the nurture list. Maybe like the first column, maybe your last column there could be your warm and your nurture, could be a bit more bulky, but in reality, if you compare that to, once again, the entire ocean, all the leads you're chatting with, it's going to be a drop in the bucket. All right, a drop in the bucket, especially, once again, if you're actually generating qualified leads into your business every day, which you should be, right? I'm not telling you to stop, because in reality, the goal here, I wish that I don't have any kind of iPad, or else I'd bring up my board here, but picture it like a funnel, right? And I don't mean any kind of click funnels or nothing like that. As you can tell, I'm almost anti-funnels. I use funnels in my business, but you don't need these types of things, right? Picture like a funnel here. I feel like I look goofy as ever, but just follow me here, right? You want to make sure the top part here, the funnel, this is where cold leads are entering in. And your pipeline is really like this bottom portion, right? That bottom portion of this triangle here. And this bottom portion, almost this mini triangle at the bottom, this is where this is where the money is made. let's be honest. So in reality, you want to keep on making sure you're filling in with new leads in your business on a daily basis, consistently. But bet your bottom dollar you need to make sure you're actually flagging those people who are there, right? So go ahead, let me know, comment, follow if you're following along right now and understanding that. I want to get into the follow-up piece with that there, but in reality, let's go ahead and just make sure that you're following me on this piece here. So comment, follow if you're with me on that side. I'll go ahead and pull up my chat here just to make sure we're all with it. I'm seeing there too. Good. I'm seeing the value. Oh, what the? Looks like it just kicked me out here. I feel like it just kicked me out on this side. Let me see if it did. Hopefully you guys can still see me here. I'm not even sure what happened, to be honest with you. I'm going to assume that you can still hear me. I'll look in the comments to make sure that's the case here. But with that being said, really you want to make sure you go ahead here and get that dialed in. I see a bunch of 4s going on that side. So now on top of that, what you want to make sure you're doing here is understanding how you can in reality go ahead and leverage follow-up on the back end of that. And really, it's as simple as that on our side, where really what we do is we honestly just make sure that now that you have this system dialed in, you have these pieces, you can truly now go ahead and understand how you can go about impacting that on a daily basis, right? This is why we call it daily messenger operations, right? Because now once you go ahead and understand this and understanding how you can truly track these people and really have them dialed in, now this gives you the leg up to how you can actually go about following up with them. And I don't want to, because here's, like I said here, it's one thing having the pipeline. It's one thing having your cool Google sheet, your CRM that you're paying monthly for. But what good is it if you're not using it? And I say this because I'm sure that you can picture this in other aspects of your business right now, where maybe there's things that you know you should be doing, but you get distracted by other stuff. You want to build out your funnel. You want to go ahead and tweak up your email campaigns and XYZ. And email campaigns, maybe that is follow-ups. That's a good one. So, but follow me here, where maybe you're doing it to, there's hotter areas. There's places right now that can truly move the needle in your business that much faster. But I want you to go ahead and make sure that you're understanding that if you have that pipeline and you're not leveraging it, it's almost useless on that side there, right? So let me go ahead. I think that you guys can still see me live. I'm not sure why mine ended up kind of disappearing. I think I'm seeing myself still here, so I want to make sure. Okay, good. Looks like I'm still on. I'll have to go ahead and pull up the comments on my phone to make sure I can see you guys here. So with that being said on that side, now we kind of understand that piece. So now with the follow-up, right? Like I said, I don't see any people who commented follow. Wait, comment follow if you even want me to share out any kind of follow-up tips with you guys here. Let me see some comments of follow here. Otherwise, we can end it right here and I can do some Q&A. I'm happy with that side. If you guys honestly got enough value from really when I was talking about the pipelines, maybe we're good enough here. Let me go ahead and check out in the comments and see where we're at. Like I said, otherwise I'm cool with the Q&A, and I got a grill back there. I'm waiting to grill up some. We got some chicken and pesto pasta I'm about to be cooking, a little pasta on the side. You know, like I said, we're trying to live it up here. So let me know where you guys are at. Otherwise, we'll just break it down right into some Q&A and get this thing rocking. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Okay, I had to make sure. there. I see Adam dropping the follow. I'm sure there's more to come there too. So you know what? Let me keep rocking here. I'm glad you guys are getting some value right now. Hit that like and love button if you guys are too. I'm loving seeing we got the double digits on live right here. I love it. So with that being said, follow up. Now what I want you to do really is picture it like this. I'm glad that you guys are following me on the 4s and really on that side there too. So really with that being said now, on this end, I want you to now start thinking about it like this. When it comes to your messenger, when it comes to your one-on-one conversations, your DMs, right? Obviously, like I said, cold leads are important. I'm never going to tell you they're not, right? But once again, that bottom of the funnel right here, this me looking awkward right here, this bottom of the funnel is where the money is made, right? And so with that being said, understanding how to go about your day to set yourself up to win is going to be critical inside of your business. So with that being said, here's what I want you to start to do when you really go ahead. And like I said, this is why we call this daily messenger operations, because honestly, when it comes to sales conversations and making sure that you're spending time on those income producing activities, you want to go ahead and make sure you're checking off these boxes 5 days a week. And in reality, it won't take you long, because some of the people in these buckets, imagine this. Like I said, I saw a lot of people commented 4, so you're understanding me on that side there. So imagine this, right? You're going ahead now about your business, you're understanding what's going to take, and in reality, you're getting people in with warm leads, getting people on the nurture side. If people are on your nurture list, you don't need to go ahead and message them every day, right? That's overkill, that's thirsty, you're too attached to the sale at that point. We want to go ahead and have these pipelines to make sure that they're front of mind. We're not forgetting about them. We're not letting the money slip through the cracks, right? Because honestly, that's what so many people are doing there. So like, it is honestly that simple when it comes down to that. So with that case being said there, you have to have your daily method operation, your daily messenger operations. And with that, I want to go ahead and break that down for you sequentially so you understand. So number one, the first people you want to go ahead, we have about 5 buckets, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you the most important ones right now. Number one, you want to start your day off with the hot leads, right? The hot leads, the people who maybe you're about to have a phone call with, the people who you've told your offer to. If you've sent, to me, in my mind, what I consider a hot lead, for those of you wondering, like, what the heck does Justice call a hot lead? A hot lead is somebody where basically you almost discussed the investment, you've booked a call with them, you've sent them to some kind of sales page. Anything along those lines is a hot lead on that side there, right? So because once again, why is that the hot lead? Because in reality, there's a sale that potentially could happen today, tomorrow, this week that could come from that. Picture a cold lead. In your mind, your optimistic self is telling you, oh yeah, I'm sure I can get a sale from this person today. I just met them, but sure, oh, this person looks like a good lead. Maybe I'll reach out or whatever. It's like, in reality, that's all just a bunch of fluff, right? So your hot leads are numero uno, right? Those are the main people you have to focus on. Number two behind that is really, I like to say, you want to keep eyes on your nurture leads, right? Your nurture leads now too, once again, luckily, you're not going to have to go ahead and really message these people every single day because that's going to come off thirsty and desperate, right? But you have to keep them front of mind. So maybe there's certain people, maybe you messaged them a week ago. Maybe like, you know what? Let me go back another week. But at least once again, you're keeping tabs on them. You're aware, you're mindful, and understand that because of the pipeline and your consistent follow-up process, this is possible now, right? So that's what I'd say is your number two. And then past that, your warm leads number three, people who have shown interest, maybe a conversation slowed away, we didn't get to the point where they actually haven't seen your offer or anything like that, but they're on the cusp, right? They're on the edge. You want to make sure that you get them to that point there, right? And then lastly, behind that one, you can put the cold leads, right? So as you can see there, I want to make sure that you're understanding this. The cold leads is number 4 out of all this process here. You want to make sure you're talking to them, but start your day off with the income producing activities, right? And that's why it's the same thing. Start your daily messenger operations off. Your daily, and it doesn't matter which platform you're using for this kind of one-on-one conversation. Make sure you're starting off with the people who matter most there, right? So I want to go ahead. I'm hoping this helps. Comment value one more time for me if you guys are getting some value to this right now. I want to open up some Q&A. If you guys have any kind of questions for me, anything I can do to add clarity on this topic. I guess technically if you have questions on other areas, I'm happy to jump into. But in reality, especially on this topic too, let me know it kind of, once again, if you have issues on how to set up, how to go ahead about this and really help your business out, let me know there. I'm happy to answer something, but really hope this hit home for you guys there too. Great to see everybody here live as well. As you guys know, we're here every single Wednesday. So great to have you here. And like I mentioned, just because we're out on the beach right now, it doesn't mean that we're not going to still keep the party rocking here. So go ahead. Like I said, let me know if you guys got any kind of questions on your side. I want to make sure we go ahead and get you covered on this end too. So I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I'm not too sure why it moved my live stuff, but I can still see comments coming in. I see the values coming in. I love that there. Hey, also, if you want to hit the like and love button, that is amazing too on that side, just to get the community involved. Make sure everyone can see that there. But if there's no questions there too, I mean, honestly, hopefully that means that this just hit home for you and it's making sense and you're ready to go implement. Honestly, like I said, the most important parts about this, what I'm telling you here, is what you're seeing. Number one, we'll do a quick little recap before we sign off here today. Number one, hopefully you understand the SLS, the shiny lead syndrome, right? What do I mean by shiny lead syndrome? Just chasing after new leads, just consistently going deep into the ocean when there's fish right at the shore, right? And there's fish at the shore who know your name. They've seen your brand. They gel with you. Do not forget about them. Do not forget about them. And the sad part about this is it feels obvious. It feels obvious, and it probably is obvious to a lot of you, especially now as I'm breaking it down. But to be honest with you, just because things are obvious doesn't mean that we're staying consistent with them. So absolutely make sure you dive in on that, and I hope that now this whole shiny lead syndrome is really making sense to you on that side. Number two, understand that the whole concept around these two major pieces, follow-up and pipelines. I hope that a lot of you right now are getting excited about pipelines. I remember we brought in a client of mine, really show him a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff we do as part of our team, and just seeing how we really utilize our pipeline side of our business. It blew his mind there. And after a week of kind of seeing it and really realizing how much we utilize it on a daily basis, and you don't want to get crazy with this stuff. You don't have to. It's just once again, it keeps it all front of mind. You're not just kind of guessing and letting leads fall through the crack, which in reality is letting money fall through the cracks there, right? So really just making sure you understand that. Once again, this whole SLS, understanding the main 2 areas we're talking about, and then just generating some kind of a system inside of it to make sure that you can keep up with it on a regular basis. Just once again, knowledge is power, but if you're not implementing with this stuff, it's going to be useless for you. I'm telling you right now. So I hope this helps. Like I said there, I'm not seeing any questions right now. So hopefully that means you guys are hungry to start taking some action over there and get this stuff rolling. Great to see you here. We'll be back next Wednesday as always. Always a pleasure seeing you guys here too. Any questions, feel free to drop a comment. I'll check later if they pop in later if you guys watch on the replay. But let me know if you guys got some value with this one more time down there in the comments. Drop a hashtag knowledge, drop a hashtag gems, hashtag whatever you're feeling necessary. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you next Wednesday. All right, I don't see any comments here. Just one more time before I check off here for the night. Enjoy the rest of your night there too, and I'll catch you guys later. Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel, and absolutely go ahead and join us in our original chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.